Welcome, science teachers, to your choice time. You have chosen to spend some time with the new MCA IV test specifications. In this session, you will have time to work alone or with a course-alike group to take a look at the course specifications that go along with the MCA IV, which will launch in 2024, related to the content that you will teach. I want to give you a quick overview of these materials, and you will have some time to dig into them before returning to the entire group at 11 o'clock. When diving into these, you'll see that there are 3 different documents inside of the MCA IV test spec review, which is located inside the Science Choice session, inside Science, or inside the Professional Development Day group that we are using to store materials. In here, you're going to find the 127-page test specification. You're going to find a copy of the survey questions in a printed out form so that you can preview them. And you're going to find the actual MDE survey that you can submit alone or with your peers. Let's take a look at what the survey questions will look like. In this document, you will see the questions that are going to come up in the actual survey, just printed out. So you're not going to fill this out. You're just going to use this to preview the types of questions the state is going to ask you when you're reviewing the test specification. The test specification is open for review from everybody. It is an open review. And we wanted to make sure that as science teachers with the background knowledge and knowledge of your students that you had a chance to take a look at this during our time today. As such, you can do this individually if you think you won't get done today and you want to do that, or your group can submit today as an entire group and choose which group you are. Are you a teacher, content specialist? So take a look there. That survey itself is going to be in this MCA IV feedback survey from MDE. If you look at this, it gives you all kinds of information in the top, and then you actually start the survey down at the bottom. You'll do that after you've had a chance to look at the test specifications. Test specifications are, in fact, 127 pages. Every benchmark has its own page. As the MDE talked about having teachers do a review of test specifications, they wanted to point out a couple of things. First, this benchmark, as it sits on this page, is not up for review right now, so do not spend time or energy picking apart this, because this is already sent in for approval. What is up for review is everything below it, including how the cross-cutting concept, the practice, and the disciplinary core idea are woven together, and what types of things will be used to assess those. Scrolling down farther, you will see suggestive vocabulary that will be used. Your job in this audit is to take a look at this from the knowledge of your content knowledge, your developmental knowledge, your Bloom's taxonomy, whatever tool you want to use to look at rigor, and think about how this is put together. One of the things the Department of Education cautioned us on is that sometimes we have a tendency to only provide feedback on things we don't like, and we don't provide feedback on things we do like. When that happens, 2,000 people might look at this and go, yeah, that's about what I would think that my students would do. And 200 people might look at this and say, really? Punnett squares are atrocious. I hate Punnett squares. If they provide feedback and they're the only feedback that comes in, then the Department of Education says it's really hard to discount that feedback if they don't have positive feedback that have come from the professionals as well. So when you're looking at these test specifications, if they look good and you largely agree with the rigor, the developmental level, the vocabulary, the types of things that they will be assessing, they ask that you please provide feedback on that as well, and not just negative feedback on the things that we don't find in line with what we're thinking. That way they will have more information when they go to adjust this test specification. So as you're looking at this, you will have a page for each benchmark. So you can scroll through and find your benchmarks and look at those survey questions that we previewed and think about those in terms of each benchmark and then go into that survey and provide the state with feedback. Once again, they wanted to remind us that the MCA IV will roll out in 2024. However, they will start to test some of these test specification questions starting much sooner than that. And so you will start to see your students possibly hear them talk about test questions that had the practice, the cross-cutting concept, and the disciplinary core idea woven together much sooner than 2024. And so as we start to think about how we're going to implement the new curriculum or in the new set of standards, remember that those practices and cross-cutting concepts can be woven in with what we're currently teaching because it builds capacity. Those things have great cross-curricular meaning, and they help reinforce the learning skills of science that we want the kids to have. When you're all done, you're going to submit the feedback survey. If you don't get a chance to finish this today, the survey will remain open for a few more weeks. We will return back with everybody else at 11 o'clock to wrap up today's science learning and talk about our system staff learning related to pathways. Thanks. Don't forget to click and subscribe. No, just kidding. I have a few subscribers, and they always question when I make videos for teachers because they're usually former students. Have a great day. Thanks for being here, and good luck with the review. I hope the test specification is everything we're hoping it will be.